Hey there, and happy Saturday. It's not very often that I come to you with inspiration on Saturday, but yesterday almost felt more like the weekend to me than today does. Just was a gorgeous day, and I connected with some of you guys through helping with orders and texting and emailing and chatting on the phone, and it was all wonderful. It was all good, but all of a sudden my day got away, and I had grandkids for a while, and that was fun. But then when I noticed like it was almost supper time, and my husband said, "Hey, let's go out to eat with some friends," and I'm like, all right, let's just do that, because it was a gorgeous night. So we even could dine outside, and that was fun. And so today I'm just kind of flip-flopping my Friday and Saturday routine, I think. And I can hear rumbling and thunder, and maybe that's happening where you are too, because storms are going to be moving in, and I kind of wanted to get this in too before the storms made it hard for maybe the connection too of the video. So I'm bringing you some inspiration today here using one of my favorite colors, Calypso Coral. It just makes me happy when I use this. Sometimes people like to know, hi there Marie, hi Lisa, like if you're a beginner, or like how do you get started and different things like that. And sometimes I think just starting with a favorite color is also a really good thing to do too. So that's what I'm doing here now. And let me just get my, whoops, nope, not that, get my iPad working here. Oh, I just messed that up big time. So that I can see your comments. There we go. And that way I can see those comments and get to the camera turned around so that I can show you the card better too. All right, let's get to that part. So it's a pretty simple, basic layout. Hey there, Barb. How are you today? So I've got this host code going. I'm kind of in between demoing for hostesses, and it might be a while before I have my own host code, even because I've got 3 more hostesses lined up already too. So that's exciting for me. But I'm doing the promo where if you order a minimum of $25 to and use this host code, then you'll get a 3-pack of cards for me, this being one of them. So this is today's card. I love the pretty prints and the Sun Prints Designer Series paper. So this is kind of the Calypso Coral version of that. So in the annual catalog here, this one on pages 90 and 91, you see the beautiful Sun Prints suite of products, lots of blues and grays in there. Hi, Diane. Hi, Donna. And with that, then everybody fell in love with that. But then in the back, well, here I actually have the products. This is part of the 12 by 12 Designer Series paper that comes with that suite. But then they also have the coordinating, which is similar, pretty prints. And so that's got different greens and Calypso Coral, and what other color, because I've already used it all up. Oh yeah, the rich raspberry, everybody loved that. So these 2 papers are very similar. They're 2 different products, Sun Prints and Pretty Prints, but the patterns on them are very similar. But the best part is if you love the pattern and the beauty of it, you just get more different colors if you do the opposite 12 by 12 Designer Series paper pack. So that's where that comes in. And then today is the first time I've embossed since the new July through December mini catalog has come out. And some of you have noticed it, and some of you may not have noticed it yet. On page 49 of that, often when I emboss in front of you guys, I pull out my little embossing tray to catch the powder, and I always have to say, this is my disclaimer, Stampin' Up! Doesn't have this anymore, and I still have mine, and I love it so much that even though it's not current, I show it. Well, I can like go away from that today because Stampin' Up! Came out with this fantastic embossing additions toolkit. So you can see that over here, and with it you'll get an embossing buddy, which I haven't even used this for so long because I couldn't show it to you guys because you'd be so bummed that you couldn't use it. So today I'll use my embossing buddy. That's part of it, as well as that tray. And then it comes with some brushes and a little tweezer clamp. So I think this is going to be great for those of you that have always wanted this. Some of you have already gotten it, and that's great too. And especially like think about it during celebration, because that's about halfway to earning something for free too. And maybe those of you that have been stamping for a long time already have those from their first go round, but I'm excited to highlight that and show that to you. So with this, the Nature's Prints stamp set, like I said, it coordinates with the Pretty Prints paper, and I kind of went like, okay, which floral image or even nature image should I have as just a little kind of, not the focal point. It's hard to know if this is a focal point or if the sentiment is today, or just a pretty paper. It's, you know, kind of monochromatic, and so it all kind of blends together. But I was like, okay, I want something smaller, so I kind of narrowed it down from there, and yet I want something floral, so I went from, oh, this looks too much like greenery, and just narrowed it down to that. But then wonderful sentiment. So if you're copying my card today, which a lot of you say you do, and I love that, you can make it be whatever you want. So that helps with this. And then the coordinating dies, of course, are wonderful. Big set of dies here, a frame for sentiments, and then extra little pieces here. Today, the only die I'm using out of there is going to be the little die here that cuts out that floral image. So can kind of just set that aside too. And so I think where I'm going to start is just kind of putting the card together up until we get to the, I should call it not the focal point, just like the focal area, which is here. So what I did is I cut a 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper down. So when I have a designer series paper, 12 by 12, and I'm going to use this big of a piece out of it. Hi there, Joyce. I know a lot of you will be like, yep, I know those measurements. So the card base is going to be, let me grab that, Calypso Coral, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 for the, you know, the card base front. Obviously it's double that scored, opening this way. But then I cut this piece 4 by 5 1/4. So when I cut a 5 1/4 strip, then I'm going to get 3 sections of 4, and then there's always that leftover strip that's about 1.5 inches long by 12. And so what I did is cut that into 3-inch pieces. So this is 1.5 inches by 3. So we've got our 12 by 12. Oops, actually it's going to kind of look like that. And then this is that leftover strip that's over there. And then I just, like I said, cut that. So I like to show you, because how many of you, I'm sure you're all raising your hands, have that leftover 1.5 by 12-inch strip. So what I'm going to show you is one way to kind of incorporate that into today's card. So let me start by just flipping this over. How fun is that background too with the splatter? So I'm going to incorporate the stamp that's in the set that looks like a splatter, because that's kind of on there. And we are going to use the back side of that piece too. So let me just put this on here like so. And then next, oh, I don't know if you can hear the thunder. It's almost like shaking the house. It's getting really loud. So like I said, this is that same pattern, but we're going to use the back side just so it pops a little bit more. And that I'm going to put down right away as well. 3 inches by 3 inches by 1.5 inches. So we've got that. Actually, I want to, it's not too late, I want to scoot it down a little bit. We'll see. I don't think it's stuck. I love the new seal because it's a lot stickier. And it is kind of gooey, so if you can get it going, the goo kind of helps lift it up if it's pretty quick. So that I'm just going to put down there like so. And now the next piece is going to be a piece of Calypso Coral, which is the same as the card base. And this is cut 1 inch by 4 inches. And then I'm going to get out my, here we go, my Versamark pad. And I'm using the sentiment from Nature's Prints, best wishes and happy thoughts. So I'm just going to ink that up with my Versamark to get that sticky. I'm going to ink that off to the right side as far as possible of that. And you're not seeing it because it's that sticky kind of almost invisible ink. And now I'm going to get out some white embossing powder here. Oh, I didn't use my embossing buddy. Oh, I'm so used to not using it because it wasn't available for so long. Okay, so what you should have done is use the embossing buddy before stamping anything and just go over all of this and then stamp your best wishes. And what it does, like especially when I pick this up, and especially for videos too, I've handled this a few times to get this ready to show you. And this just kind of takes and absorbs all of the oils from your fingers or anything that might have landed on there that's going to interfere with the embossing powder sticking. Actually, this one really stuck well, so I'm glad for that. But I will be so glad to have my embossing buddy laid out, and hopefully we'll I think I'll be using it next week again, so then I can show you that too. Right now I've got my heat tool and going to heat this up. I love how the white embossing powder always makes the sentiments especially just pop. Of course, anything that you're embossing, but whether it's lighter paper or darker paper, I just think it's just always a fun thing to have that happen. And just make sure it's all covered there. Yes. There we go. So got that all embossed in the white, and then I'm just going to, sometimes as it cools down, it's just a little sticky for a minute, but I'm going to set that aside and then grab just a scrap of basic white, and then we'll open up the Calypso Coral ink pad here, and I'm just going to ink that up and stamp out that image here like so. So it's got like a full flower, kind of that bud that's about ready to bloom there. And now with that, that's all I'm doing for stamping on that little floral piece. So I'm going to then just match up my die here with that. Okay, make sure that that's right. And I'll put that through to cut out that little tiny floral image there. So we've got that, and that pops up or out just like so. And what I'm going to do is add just a little bit more color to that. And to do that, I'm going to get out my 3-pack of water painters, and this is going to be the thinnest. There's like, you can see the brush tips pretty thick, pretty wide, and then there's a medium and like more of a fine tip point here. So I open up the barrels here. I did that before I came on, and make sure that there's some water in there, and then I just give it a good squeeze on my hand to know that water's coming out. And then with this, since I just stamped it, I might be able to, let me move the camera just a little bit closer so you can see this technique. If you haven't seen it for a while or just need a little refresher, whoops, let me get that back in the camera. So I'm just going to take and move the Calypso Coral from the center. You can see there's just a little bit more ink there. And so as I push that out, it's going to fill in the white space of the flower a little bit, and it's just going to be just like a light color wash. And then I'm going to actually tap just the corner here onto my ink pad, just barely, to kind of fill in the bottom piece of that little part of the flower, and then just go over it lightly to give that a little bit more color. So that's all I'm doing there, is just filling that in. Just a really quick watercolor lesson. And then I can pop my camera back up so you have a better view of my desk to see, whoops, how I assemble the rest of the card here. So now I can go ahead and continue to layer these. Hey there, Sherry, thanks for popping on. So with this, I'm going to just take my adhesive, and there it is, and just give that a swipe across there. And then this is going to go in the middle of that other designer series paper, like so. Isn't that so pretty? Just that that font and this pretty paper. Just, I love monochromatic cards too. And then to put this on, I'm flipping this over, and the larger flower is going to get a regular size dimensional on there to pop that up. And then the smaller little one here is going to get a mini dimensional to just make that pop up there as well. So now I can just take and add that, And I love how that just really makes everything look happier and springs the card to life there by tying in a little bit more lighter colored with the white around that. So now I'm ready to embellish that. So like I said, this card comes together pretty quick. And for embellishments today, I'm going to pull out the Iridescent Pearls Basic Jewels. I have not used these yet, and I was actually really excited to use them. I hope that the camera catches that, because I think when I saw them new in the catalog, I'm like, okay, I've got the pearls, so what's different with the iridescent pearls? So there's just kind of a fun shimmer shine thing like that. Oh, yeah, Sherry's my sister-in-law. Happy Saturday. Only way us busy gals see each other. So, yes, so Sherry works hard and during the week. And so, yeah, I think having a Saturday video, which I don't do very often at all, is kind of fun because I know I'll see different faces for those that maybe normally don't have time or aren't on social media during the week. So with these iridescents, there's just a fun, and iridescence, the only way to say that is just that type of, it's not like a shimmer shine, or it's just a different kind of sparkle, and I love that. So I'm just going to take one of the larger pearls here and just kind of anchor that down in the corner there. And then I'm going to take a couple more of the smaller ones and just kind of go opposite there, and then grab another one and just kind of put that over in the middle side here. So if you guys know me, I like to put my embellishments on my cards with an odd number. So thanks, Joyce, and I love that you say that. Pretty card, nice design to use over and over, and I love it when Joyce is already thinking out of the box. So Joyce is thinking, you know what, I can take some other designer series paper and just copy that layout, maybe change the sentiment to whatever you want. You can even use like the Nature's Prints and pull out some of that other pretty paper and maybe just use a different cutout here, a different sentiment, and make tons of different cards really quick using this layout. So I like that you can think out of the box just like that. Hey there, Julie. Now for the inside, I'm going to do that really quick too. I'll open up my Calypso Coral ink pad here, and there's a fun splatter stamp, and I love how the splatter just adds great effects. And usually if it's going to be kind of a background, and for this I'm just kind of doing a backdrop in the corner, I will want to ink it up and then stamp it off on some scratch paper. I'm not using this again after today, so I can do that. And then after that, oops, I must have got a little ink right there. Let's flip that over. And then I'm just going to kind of lightly like tap that on there. So you can see that's the darker. This is the lighter after I ink it off once. It's called stamping off, just to get that ink off of there. And then you get a lighter image. And then I'm going to pull in that floral image there from the front of the card and just re-stamp that full strength over top of my splatter. So it just kind of fills in a little bit of color, adds a little bit more to it, and then just continues on with the theme from the front of the card to the inside of the card, and that's ready to put on the inside. So got that. After I got that little splatter on there and kind of not even knowing where it came from, so I'm trying to be careful so I don't get it anywhere else on the card. So there we go. So hopefully this is a fun short video to show you some inspiration. And I know when the annual catalog first came out, so many people were in love with the Pretty Prints paper, and so many of you have it. So I thought, hey, let's go with something that you might already have and give you some more ideas to use that. So let me get this turned around, and that will kind of finish up my little 3-card series that I worked on this week for you guys. And then next week I will be starting card demos. Thank you, Lisa. I'll be starting card demos for my hostess Beth Galswick. So I'll probably start that Tuesday next week, and she'll be keeping her party open for a while, but I'll just do her demos all next week. And then after that, I'll have card demos for Kathy Hunter, and then I will have my third hostess on the books. That'll be Dawn Earlbeck. So I'm really excited to bring you lots more ideas, throw in some things from annual catalog, the new mini catalog, and then Celebration is still going through the end of August, where you can get something extra for free every time you spend $50, and I love that time of year. So have a great weekend, and if you are interested in getting the cards that I made this week, just use use that host code, or let me know when you contact me to order that you want to use that host code to get the 3 cards that I've made this week. But otherwise, I love it when you support my hostesses, and you guys have been doing so well with that, and just know that they are so super appreciative, and you'll get their cards as well. So take care, have a great weekend, see you Tuesday. Bye-bye.